RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action. Hey man, first off, man, how you doing? How you feeling? How your mama, sister, cutting them doing? Hope y'all Sunday morning's going as good as mine, because I feel good, feel great. You hear me? Now, we had some exciting football this weekend, people. We had some exciting football this weekend. RBT family. We had a big upset. I mean, well, maybe not big upset, not to be disrespectful to the Commanders, but definitely an upset, right? And, you know, the Chiefs and Texans game didn't disappoint, gave us plenty to talk about. So go ahead, pull on up, sit on down, get real comfortable, and get ready to tap in with your dog, because, you know, we got a lot to talk about this morning. Now, hey, matter of fact, hey, look at y'all, man, up early. Look at y'all up early, man. Already in the building. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the family who in the building this morning, man. Hey, my dog, Keandre, man. Hey, good morning to the good people. With last night's playoff hat trick, you will now pronounce George Karlaftis tier 1 or it's hate. Hey, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. He had a pretty good half of football, man. I think he had all three. I think all three of them sacks came in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it, man. Mondoose in the building. Good morning, Big Nation Business, Big Nation family. Happy Sunday. Have a blessed show as always. I appreciate you, lady. Appreciate you. Let's see. Sis in the building. What's going on? Good morning to the good peoples. Hey, look, he already tripping. You see? He coming here tripping. He coming here tripping already. Look, hey, he coming here tripping already. Oh, man, not throwing shots at Terrible Time. Terrible Time probably had a long night. Terrible Time probably had a long night, man. My dog Time, man, he in recovery. It's been a long weekend for my dog Time. He may be in recovery. He may be in recovery, man. He might have to help drink some of his sorrows away, man. And just like that, we own the board. Shout out to my dog, man. Shout out to my dog. But hey, no, we definitely got a lot to talk about. And you know what? Hold on now. Before we get too far, all right, let's get this straight right off the bat. I see about 8-9 of you in here, y'all viewing. I ain't got 8-9 of y'all to tap in yet, man. Drop something in the comments. Say what's up to your dog. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? Drop your like. Go ahead, throw a share and a subscribe in there as well. But tap in with your dog, man. Drop something in the chat. Say what's up to your dog, man. And then let's go ahead and get it going. Now, while everybody's getting comfortable, before we get into the real business, we do gotta, someone's gonna kind of like break us in. Nah, you know what? Ain't no reason to. I was going to break us in with like a little news, just let everybody get comfortable. But it feels like y'all already warmed up and ready to go. So we might as well just go ahead and get to it. Let's talk about yesterday's opening divisional round matchup. All right. In the AFC Divisional, Houston goes to Kansas City, takes an L, lose that game 14-23. Now, the game itself, and here's what I'll say about the game as far as I guess performance from the Texans and both. Honestly, I think my score, I think I called this score on Wednesday 23-16. And so pretty close. They got that 14 with the late safety, just the Chiefs running out the back of the end zone. But be that as it may, 23-14. So when the game first starts, man, Texans kick the ball off. Kansas City opens it up and damn near takes it to the house. Returns it all the way to their own 30. And then shout out to that Texans defense for standing up and holding the 3 right there out the gate. Because it could have been ugly right there out the gate. You know what I mean? Like if they run that back or if they, take that momentum and go ahead and punch that in. But the Texans defense, man, definitely showed up and got that opening stop. And I thought that opening stop by the Texas defense to force the 3 was huge. You know what I mean? Just because like that is just such a big momentum shift right out the gate. Or not even a shift. You already, you know what I'm saying, in enemy territory. That Chiefs fan base is loud and rocking. We already know how that goes. And so you go down a quick 7-0 right there out the gate. And that's a tall order. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Texas defense for that. Let me see. Hey, oh no, not my dog. Hey, I know he the double dip. He the double dip, man. He went too hard. He went too hard Friday and then ran it back last night. Hey, I know he feeling it. And whenever he do get his ass up, he gonna have to get in here and defend his Texans. Because my dog Keandre said he looking for smoke. For sure. But them getting that opening stop just after that game worked, or after the game started the way it did, I thought that was big. And then honestly, that was kind of the theme of the day. So this was much like what we've seen from Kansas City, much all year. This game was won on defense and on special teams. And then there's two or three plays that Patty and the third party may make that just enough of a little nudge to get them right over the edge, man. And so we got to talk about it. Here's the thing about it. So the very first one, right in the first quarter, Texans, it looks like they get a stop. Will Anderson gets some pressure on Patty. He goes in there. He runs up in his chest. He chest bumps Patty's shoulder. The referee is 3 yards behind Patty. The back line judge is right there, and we get a 15-yard penalty. There's a 15-yard penalty right there that extends that drive, and it's like right out the gate, like, all right, man. It makes you a little worried. For anybody outside of Kansas City, you get a little worried, like, hold on, man, we can't be starting off like this. You know what I mean? And so that one, I would argue, and a lot of people would also argue, it's a weak call. You know what I mean? It's a weak call, and especially in a big game, in a big moment to go for the championship, that's a weak call. And then, of course, skipping ahead, third quarter, the other highly disputable call in this one, Patty's running. He's booting right. He's scrambling. He turns into a runner. He's running upfield. Texans are closing. And it's in a pincer move. He gets a very late slide for one, but then the two Texans defenders hit each other as Patty kneels down underneath, and we get another 15-yard flag right there that extends that drive as well. And then they go on and put points on the board from that drive as well. And Troy Aikman in the booth. And I'm generally not a big fan of Troy Aikman's commentary. Like Troy Aikman and Buddy, I can't think of his name. I'm not a fan of that. They just seem dry to me. I'm not a fan. Troy Aikman couldn't take it. And I was right there with him like, hey, man, we gotta do something about this. Because we really, not to say the Chiefs weren't the better team or that they weren't going to win that game, but, bro, can the Texans have a shot? I didn't like the first call, but I didn't like it. And I don't like that the ref was right there. He's 3, maybe 4 yards away. It happens right in front of him, and he still throws that flag. But that one, man, they've got to do something about that. And the easy and the obvious answer is, why isn't that play reviewable? Because it's such a drastic and dramatic penalty. It's such a harsh penalty and there's no way for the other side to explain or justify themselves. We review a lot of things in this game, right? There's a lot of things that get reviewed. And for a call to routinely, week after week, and it's not just the Chiefs, it's the Chiefs this week, but it's not just the Chiefs, but week after week, we consistently see these roughing the passers or illegal or whatever you want to call them, right? These personal foul penalties, specifically in relation to quarterbacks, these are changing the outcomes of games. These are changing the trajectories of games. You see what I'm saying? It's too big of a call, and it's thrown so frivolously that it has to be reviewable. It has to. Those one calls individually, that's not enough to win the game for the Texans. It's not. One call individually is not. But those calls throughout the course of a game in changing the momentum and trajectory of a game and how a team's performing, absolutely. Absolutely, man. And so if those calls are going to be so, if the penalty and the frivolity of how those calls are being made is going to be so loose, then it has to be reviewable. It has to. There's no other way around it because it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And so, that be that as it may. Now, on the other side, though, for the Texans, see, and that's the thing too. They actually moved the ball pretty well for stretches in that game, especially even to start the game. They went right down the field to open that game up, and then they end up stalling out in the red zone. They get 3. The kicker, he had a rough day, 2 for 4, and he missed the extra point. Now, one of those field goals he missed, it was like a 55-yarder. I think the wind was swirling. So, I mean, that's a rough kick. 55 in the cold, on the road, in Kansas City. The wind was on one, so whatever. But the extra point that would have tied the game should have been 13-13. Game should have been 13-13 at that point. We got to take those home, especially when you already missed one. You know what I'm saying? If we send you out there for 55, that means you didn't let me and the coach staff to believe that you good for 55. I would have to imagine. So, and it wasn't even close. That's the thing about it. But be that as it may, man, rough day there. On the whole, Patty goes 16 for 23, buck 77, 1 touchdown, no picks. Kelsey had a big day, man. Kelsey 7 for 117 in the touchdown. Kelsey, I don't know. Kelsey had a 50-yard catch and run in this game. And boy, I tell you what, Kelsey got old in a hurry, bro. That was the longest, slowest 50-yard run you've seen this season, boy. That was the longest, slowest 50-yard run you've seen this season. And got right to down to the 5. And you can tell he wanted to score so bad, boy, he ain't had no juice. It was no juice left in them legs, man. But be that as it may, big day from Patty and Kelsey. Kareem Hunt got in the paint as well. He had 44 yards in the touchdown. Hold on, let me catch up on the chat. I see y'all in there. I see y'all in the chat chatting. Hey, D-Dot in the building. Hey, it's still Big Nation business, man. Hey, it's still Big Nation business, bro. You know what's going on. What's going on with you, bro? What's going on with you, man? Let me see. Man, hold on. What's that say? PTBF14. Look, hey, you got to explain that name to me when I see you. PTBF, that's a lot. That's a lot going on. Terrible call by the refs on that first one. More of a result of the dumbass rules to protect the QB. Fact. And then wouldn't even call the second one a slide. It was just in the back. Exactly. That's the thing too. It wasn't a slide. Like he like just crumpled down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a good play by him. Like, okay, let me avoid a hit. But yeah, it wasn't a slide. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a slide. And then here's the thing about it as well. This is why, like, something's got to be done about this slide stuff. Like, we've seen what's going on with Tua. We've seen what's going on with what happened with Trevor Lawrence this year. Like, the slide stuff has to be adjusted. There's got to be something done, and there's nothing that's going to be done on the other side because there's never going to be a time in which they'll offer protection to the defense at the potential expense of injury to the quarterbacks. So they'll never go so far as to balance it back out. But there's got to be something put in place, man, because it's really affecting games and affecting teams adversely. Said there should be a way for a guy to buzz into whoever on the obvious bad call and reverse it for sure. And yeah, exactly. And see, the thing about it is, like, the NFL, they implemented some style of, like, they've got the expedited reviews now. So, like, the New York referee office, they do watch and review every call. So they're watching every play live for inconsistencies. And then if it is a challengeable play, like, they may weigh in and give their 2 cents. And then there's certain instances in a game in which they can mandate a review, like, from New York that's not on the field. And so, no, you're exactly right. And that's the easy and obvious fix for this, is that they need to expand, I guess, like, those expedited New York reviews, because the refs on the field are going to miss stuff. The refs on the field are not exempt from outside influence, regardless of what we want to say. They're not. And so, yeah, when that first Patty hit, how long would it have taken New York to buzz the ref and be like, hey, big dog, chest hit the shoulder, take him back? You know what I'm saying? On that second one. Because we watched Troy and Buck, or whatever dude name is. We watched Troy in the ESPN telecast show us clear and obvious replays for about 2 minutes of how both defenders went over top of Patty and hit each other in the head. So you mean to tell me New York couldn't have got that angle? New York couldn't have seen the TV version? If New York just had the game on TV in the back in front of next to all the other screens, that could have been an easy buzz. Hey, big dog, nobody actually touched Patty right there. That noise you heard, because he threw the flag because he heard the clap, he heard the impact, he heard the impact, and throws the flag without seeing what actually happened. But I heard something, Patty was over there. That can't be good enough. That cannot be the threshold for whether or not that type of penalty, as drastic a penalty as it is, gets called. 15 yards and an automatic first down. Boy, you got to be kidding me. Hell no. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. But, yeah, just like you said, I'm at PTF ABCD because your name's too long. You wrong for that. But, yeah, that's an easy fix. Exactly right. That's an easy fix. He said they tried to target our QB. Hey, look here, man. Keandre, you done told me before. Try to doing and doing don't mean nothing. Texans also tried to beat the Chiefs. They didn't get credit for beating them. So what you saying? They tried to target our quarterback. So now we got to throw the flag because you think they tried? No, your quarterback tried to go out there dancing with the wolves. That's what he tried to do. And then he punked out at the end. Tell him to stay on his feet and lower his shoulder then. How about that, Keandre? Don't tell me they tried to target him. No, they didn't try to target him. He went out there trying to be a big boy, and then he got down at the end. you know what I'm saying, and played the system. Hell no. He said 10 seconds to 10 minutes, 48 yards, take a play. No, it was. That's a hell of a play, bro. It really was. And it was a couple plays that couple big plays that broke some bad tackling by the Texans, especially like in that second level and secondary for sure. Now, what I will tell you, though, Patty, man, the one touchdown that he did throw in this game, fantastic, dog. They get good pressure. The Texans get good pressure. I want to say, was it Charles Omenihu that got the pressure? He's trying to bring him down. He has his ankle wrapped up. Patty lays out, Superman's out, and throws this touchdown to Travis Kelce, who finds a way to get wide open right behind Shahir. Where's time at to tell me how to say buddy name? But yeah, he plays him in his own, and then honestly, like, I mean, it's always kind of tough for linebackers dropping in those zones, because especially when people are moving behind him. And so he stopped getting depth and he got wide, and then Kelce just literally just folded right behind him and stood there. And then Patty made a head of a play, man. Getting drugged down by the ankle by a 310-pound man, laying out full extension Superman as you're falling, and throws a dart. You know what I'm saying? Puts it right between the numbers on Kelce, right behind Shahir for that touchdown. So it was a fantastic play, man. But that, like I said, though, like we started, that's been the story of Kansas City all year. Defense, special teams, and Patty finding a way to make 2 or 3 plays a game, man. 2 or 3 plays a game that just really just break your back. And then a little sprinkle of referee haberdashery. You understand me? A little sprinkle, just a little bit, you know what I mean? Just a little sprinkle of fairy dust, man. It can't be unsaid. It can't be unsaid, man. It can't be unsaid. For sure. He said, don't be mad because we getting Patriots called. Hey, look, man, hey, I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I mean, I was mad about them too, man. I was mad about, maybe mad's too strong. You know what I'm saying? My team's at home. I ain't gonna say I'm full-fledged mad. That's their business. That's their business. But as a non-biased observer, I ain't got no dog in the fight. As a non-biased observer, I'm just here. I want to see good football. I want to see competitive football, but I want to see clean football, man. I just don't want to. Nobody wants to feel like it's 2-on-1. Nobody wants to feel like the other team's getting jumped. That's the only thing about it. I'm here for the Chiefs winning, man. If they're the better team and they win a game, I want them to win. I want the better team to win. I want it to be good, clean, even, unbiased football all the way through, though. When that happens, that's the only thing. And that's what gets frustrating, man. And that's what gets frustrating. All right, I ain't even talk about the other side. Oh, now let's talk about my dog Keandre's guy, man. Where's your comment at, big dog? Where's your comment at, big dog? George Karlaftis had himself a day. He did. He finished with 3 sacks. I think all 3 of those sacks came in the second half. I'm pretty sure all 3 of those sacks came in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But no, he had a fantastic day. But outside of just George Karlaftis, that defense in general played their ass off. 8 sacks on the day in total. George Karlaftis gets 3 of those. And then honestly, man, another thing about it, and I haven't really talked much about CJ's side, but CJ was a little up and down in this one for me, because mainly I don't like some of the sacks he took. I put them on him. Especially like that fourth and 10, you're going on fourth down. I'd never want to see a quarterback get sacked on 4th down. Like, bro, what are you doing? What are we doing? And not only did he get sacked on that 4th and 10, and I think that was one of Karlaftis's, yeah. I think that was one of George Karlaftis's sacks, was that 4th and 10, that failed 4th and 10. But CJ scrambled backwards. He lost like 18 yards on that play. You can't do that, bro. If it's 4th down, put the ball in the air. And it don't matter where it goes, because the interception is a punt. So the ball's got to be put in the air. And in the playoffs anyway. So what are we doing? Like, that right there, that's just bad football, man. I hate when I see that. I truly hate when I see quarterbacks do that. It's 4th and 10, we going for it, put the ball in the air. If it's not, you want somebody to catch it. It's beneficial for anybody to catch the ball. If we catch it, it's a first down or a touchdown. If they catch it, congratulations. You just down them inside the 5. Or if it's in the end zone, you just down them inside the 20. What you can't do, CJ Stroud, is go for it on 4th and 10 from your own 30 or 35, lose 20 yards get sacked, and now you give the ball to them on inside their own 50 or at their own 50. That's what can't happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what bothered me. And then honestly, man, I think he took two more sacks that I just didn't like. Like no one to hold him and no one to fold him. Like understand exactly what's your level of scramble, CJ? What's your level of run around? Because you can move a little bit. He had 40 yards rushing in this game. He had a long rush. I think he had like a 25 or 30-yard rush. He had 42 total rushing yards on the day. But some of these scrambles or moves in which he thought he was going to kind of get out of something, and he just kind of spun in place, and then another guy comes and cleans him up. Like those are the ones that we can't take. Like those are the ones you really gotta. CJ's gotta be a little bit cleaner about picking his spots. I think like when he could really run and extend, and especially when he starts going backwards. Like, bro, you ain't got the wheels or the legs like that to go backwards to get some speed and outrun these boys like that, bro. So that's what I would say about that. Joe Mixon looked good in this game, 18 for 88. He got in the paint as well. Nico Collins had a couple big catches, especially down the stretch. He finished 5 for 81 as well. Will Anderson, the victim of a bad call or two in his game, he also had 2 sacks as well. And so, the Texans defense definitely played tough, man. The Texans defense definitely played tough. Now, see, that's the thing. Hey, that's the thing, Keandre. It's not even no. These are objectively bad calls, man. These are objectively bad calls. Like sometimes there's a call that's on the fence. Like the Eagles in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, that James Bradbury defensive holding or pass interference. Some people wanted to call, some people didn't. That's a little more subjective. He grabbed him. There's no other way around it. It was a good route concept. It looked like a jerk route, right? An in and out jerk route, but then it folds into a wheel. That's a tremendous route. Like, how often do we see that ran? So James Bradbury, he's playing that jerk route aggressive inside and out, but then he turns it up on a wheel. And so, yeah, he grabbed him. And so, like, do I want to see it called? I don't, because I don't want the game decided in the most critical moment. I don't want penalties to play a part in that. I want the guys on the field to decide the game. But I won't lie and say that he didn't grab him. So if the ref threw that flag, he saw it and he threw it. There's only so much I can complain about that. Because he grabbed him. So I'm not opposed to the game being called, I guess, clean or the right way. But when there's a bad call, and in 2025, with all the technology we got, with all the camera angles that we have, we watched on the TV copy, that these were bad calls. How long would it take New York to hit the button, get in homeboy ear, hey, yeah, that was a bad one. He didn't catch him. He caught him on the shoulder. Oh, okay, got him on the shoulder. Okay, cool. Yeah, bring it back. How long does that take? The fake slide, the fake give up. Way too late anyway when now we closing in, busting heads. How long will it take? Buzz them down one more time. Hey, big dog, yeah, I know you heard the smack. It actually wasn't on Patty. They hit each other. Yeah, friendly fire. That's all it was. Okay. Yeah, bring it back. How long does that take? These are bad calls. I'm not mad about y'all getting calls that you get. If it's a call, it's a call. I'm not mad about that, but bad calls. And calls that these bad calls always tend to happen like at the most inopportune time for a lot of the other teams. These are calls that extend drives. Not only does it extend the drive because of the first down, they get 15 yards as well. These calls, the one on Patty put them in field goal range. It's a scoring drive now. Now they're in field goal range. Now it's a scoring drive on a bad call. We've got technology to see it. So that's different. It's different. Hey, exactly. ABCD 14. 2 bad calls didn't win the game. And I said that as well earlier. It's not that the Texans won or lost because of these 2 bad games, but it definitively changes the momentum and trajectory of the game. That's what it is. The first one gave us a chance to continue to drive, yeah, and then end up making a field goal instead of. Yeah. That's facts. Yeah, missed it like Fairbairn, exactly. So the second one would be second and 6 without the penalty. The refs didn't have 8 sacks. Refs didn't hold that ass to 12 points on defense. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. But the point is, okay, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, PT, Peanut Butter, and PB&J. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying. But with everything that you're saying, then why do you need those extras? Then why do you need the extras? Don't defend the extras. Are we not in agreement? They were missed calls. They were bad calls. Is that disputable? Because I'm not arguing anything extra for the Texans. I don't want them to have anything extra. I'm not saying they need a large fry when they order the medium. I'm not trying to give them nothing extra. But can we not acknowledge what happened and its effect on the outcome of the game potentially? As far as momentum and trajectory of the game goes, can we not? Is that still not a fair and objective critique? I'm not arguing that, well, if CJ Stroud would have hit Nico Collins for a 60-yard pass, it would have been a touchdown. Well, no, that's hypothetical. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. If a lot of things would have happened, these are things that happened and that were mistakes. That's what we're talking about. But yeah, no, it definitely didn't. It didn't put points on the Texans board for sure. It didn't. You see, on that 4th and 10, only bad move after Miko Ryans. Yeah, exactly. The fourth and 10 was a disaster anyway. Just like you said, the play gets in late or whatever the case. 10 minutes left of the game. Call the timeout and get right. Now, I'm not gonna say that with it being 10 minutes left in the game, I don't necessarily think that that's what determines whether or not it's time to go for 10. I think in a game like this, in which points are like getting scoring opportunities or getting in position to score is at such a premium. So being that it's 10 minutes in the game or not, they were down. I think it was 12-20 at that time. So it's still technically a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion, if I'm remembering right. So the fact that it's 10 minutes, I don't think that necessarily plays a part in it. They were threatening scoring position. They had a little movement. And so if the time is right, the time is right. Now, how they go about getting it, the execution of it, that's the problem I had for it. And just like you said, it was the organization or the orchestration of the play, getting the play in, getting the play off, that was problematic. I'm not necessarily opposed to, like you said, call the timeout, get it together, and then, you know what I'm saying, let's go out there and get it done right. But then outside of all of that, if the play's ran and the play is snapped, CJ Stroud can't give 20 yards back the other way and then go down. Period. That can't happen either. We can't like exacerbate the problem because we running this play, obviously, because we didn't call that timeout. So CJ, you running that play. Once the play is live, the play is live. Don't matter how we got here. Now the play is live. You can't go 15 to 20 yards back the other way and then go down, my boy. That cannot happen at all. The ball has got to be in the air. Interception, touchdown, or first down, the ball has got to be in the air. The worst thing, the very worst outcome is that sack. Worse than an interception, worse than an incomplete pass. Him losing 15 to 20 yards on that sack is the very worst thing that could happen and the only thing that shouldn't be allowed to happen, and that's what happened. Yeah. He said 3 sacks in the second half. Yeah. Let me see. Fleasley, you have a Floyd-headed type of argument against the Chiefs. We can't do nothing right but win. Bro, what? So we shouldn't talk about the bad call. If those calls go the other way, Keandre, you'd be singing a different song, bro. Yeah, I picked y'all to win the game. I picked y'all to win the game. And regardless if y'all to won that game or the Texans to won that game, my Steelers at home. Ain't got shit, ain't got nothing. It doesn't change the temperature in my house. But I can't say, and we can't ignore the fact it was a bullshit call. Several highly questionable calls. Not even highly questionable. Bad calls. Objectively bad calls. In a game at a time in the history of the league in which there's never been more technology involved in the game, that we can sit there and watch a bad call, a terrible call be made, and then still have the rules make it okay. Man, no, you can't make it make sense. You can't make it make sense, man. You can't make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all we're saying. No, it's a good talk though. But no, shout out to the Chiefs, man. Shout out to the Chiefs. Like I said, man, I don't necessarily dislike or like either of the teams. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see a fair fight, man. I want to see a fair fight. When matter of fact, Keandre, you just talk about boxing. When Antonio Margarito beat Miguel Cotto, whooped his ass. And I was a huge Miguel Cotto fan. It's one, if you're gonna whoop his ass, whoop his ass. But then remember, it came out, Miguel Cotto had concrete in his gloves. He had literal like quick dry mix in his gloves and almost killed that man. So now with him whooping Cotto's ass, we shouldn't talk about the, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, it has an effect. That's all I'm saying. We gotta acknowledge it, man. But yeah, but nah, shout out to the Chiefs. Shout out to the Chiefs. I can't wait to see who they play next. Because the winner of today's game, that's gonna be a hell of a game either way. Either the Ravens get a chance to get they lick back from week 1, or the Chiefs get a chance to get they only loss of the season back against the Bills. So this AFC Championship game is gonna be dynamite, man. Regardless of who's on the field against the Chiefs. Now moving on, man. Saturday night's NFC divisional game. This is an upset, man. This is still an upset, a big upset in my mind. Washington goes on the road to Detroit and walks away with a very impressive W, 45-31. Now, this one right here, man, this game right here, this was a doozy. And I think, and this was the thing, even the start of this game also, both these games started with like not necessarily highlight, but both these games started with a big opening kickoff play, right? So in the Kansas City game, Texas kick it off, Kansas City runs it back to the 30. So a big opening kickoff return play. And then in this one, Washington, the opening kickoff goes out of bounds. And so now Detroit starts on the short field, and then they go down and drive, and I think they get 7 on that drive. They go down and drive and get an opening 7. And so both these games started with a bang. That's what I was trying to say. Both these games started with a bang. But then from there, man, it goes downhill quickly from there. Jared Goff, my guy, you picked the absolute worst possible time to have your absolute worst game of the season. And I'm saying the worst game of the season, he had a game against the Texans earlier this year. He threw 5 interceptions. This was a worse performance than that game. I don't care what y'all say. Deeper than just the numbers, the pure numbers. Those 5 interceptions in Houston, yeah, it's bad. Now, they won that game. Team wins the game. They won that game, by the way. This performance against Washington at home in the playoffs, worse game than that Texans game, for sure. Jared Goff goes 23 for 40, 313 yards in this game, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and a fumble loss in this game. 4 turnover day for Jared Goff. And then just for shits and giggles, J-Mo throws an interception in this game as well. So we had 5 turnovers by Detroit at the crib, at home, in the divisional, in a year in which they've been the team of destiny all year, man. So I really hated that for the Lions. I really wanted the Lions to go to the Super Bowl, man. They've never been. They're just, you know what I'm saying? It's just everything was just lining up. They went through so much adversity all year. They got 30-something players on IR. 9 of them were starters off of the defense. And so it was bound for to finally kind of all the injuries and everything they went through on that defensive side of the ball specifically, it was bound to catch up with them at some time. And so a little bit of that happened in this game because Jaden Daniels in that offense, man, they definitely did what they had to do. But my God, Jared Goff, the first interception, he just airmails one. He airmails the ball. It's probably 4 yards over the receiver's head. It's I can't remember. I don't know if that's Mikey Sanders still or who got that one. That's the first one. That's just a terrible, terrible pass. Jared Goff, one got away, sailed on him. Horrible. Then we get the pick 6. Goff gets banged up on that play as well, trying to make a play. Get your ass out the way, Jared Goff. Gets banged up. We get the pick 6. Then we get the interception in the end zone on a play that likely probably should have been a play that should have been a touchdown on that that post to Jameson Williams, and instead that's an interception. Mikey Sanders still made his second interception of the day. Now, here's what I want to say about the interception Goff threw to Jameson Williams. And I was at a dinner party last night. Shout out to my dog Scoop. We had his birthday party last night. Happy birthday, big dog. So we had this dinner party. I'm watching on my phone. A lot of us were watching the game on our phone while we had the dinner party and whatnot. So that interception happens. And I kind of asked, you know what I'm saying, people's thoughts around. They were sitting around me, you know what I'm saying, what they thought about the interception at the time. But honestly, here's my thoughts on it. I think that interception, that interception's on J-Mo, man. I want to put that one on J-Mo. Not fully, not total. Jared Goff let the ball go. But the reason I say that, J-Mo runs his post. He beats Mikey Sanders still. He's clear. He's butt naked. He's wide open. But I don't like that he drifted in that route, bro. When you break that route off, Jared Goff threw that ball flatter because there's no reason to keep drifting upfield because J-Mo running that post and then drifting allowed Mikey Sanders still to catch up and make up and undercut that ball and pick it off in the end zone. That's a bad route in my mind, man. That's a bad route. Or it's not to say he didn't run it technically. Maybe he kept his same angle or trajectory. Nah, man. From what I know, man, and I can only give you my opinion. You don't. There's no need to drift there. You beat them. You're clear. If you drift, you don't drift on that route. Once you make that break and you're clear, you don't drift because just for that exact moment, you don't allow this cornerback a chance to come back and undercut the ball. So Jared Goff threw that pass where he's anticipating. Amon-Ra St. Brown flattens that off. Amon-Ra St. Brown flattens that off as a touchdown. J-Mo drifted. He opened that door. Sanders still came in, undercut it, and now it's an interception in the end zone. And so we've got that's 7 off the board. We got the pick 6. That's 7 the other way. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's a lot of points off the board for Detroit, man, and at the hands of none other than their own, the leader of that team and their quarterback, Jared Goff. But be that as it may, congratulations to Washington. Congratulations to Jaden Daniels. Hey, Unc in the building, man. What's going on? Said Washington came to play. They damn sure did, man. They damn sure did. They came out and they played a fantastic game. And even watching that game, because Detroit didn't lay down. Like, once that game turned ugly, especially for Jared Goff, like, Detroit did not lay down. Washington was able to keep the pressure up, keep making plays, and keep scoring, keep getting 7s. That defense kept turning the ball over as well. So shout out to Jared Goff for that. But defense got to make them plays when they get a chance to, for sure. And they did. And not only did they make those plays, they capitalized when they took the ball over, when they turned the ball over. And that was the biggest thing, getting 7s. You know what I mean? Anytime Detroit had a misstep, a turnover, or whatever the case, Washington turned in 7 instead of 3 and kept keeping that pressure on, kept expanding that lead. And Detroit, they did their best to battle back, man. They definitely did. And they stuck around for a while, but there's only so much you could do when your quarterback and your receivers start throwing the ball to the other team, man. It's only so much you can do. And so they stuck around. They continued to fight in that game, but Washington punishing them with 7s instead of 3s was really the difference there. And they played damn good ball, man. That Washington defense, shout out to Dan Quinn. That defense was fired up and ready to go. Jaden Daniels, rookie sensation, rookie phenom. 22 for 31, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also had 50 yards rushing in this game as well. De'Ami Brown's had a big month, I want to say, this last month of the season, including the playoffs. So I think he had a big catch in that Buccaneers game, had a decent day. I want to say it was a 90 or 100-yard day. He had 98 yards in this one against the Lions. And I feel like the last game or two of the regular season as well, his production had a significant uptick as well. So shout out to De'Ami Brown. I remember him when he was coming out of North Carolina. So shout out to him. And then Scary Terry, man. Scary Terry goes 4 for 87 and a touchdown. This one was the one for real. This one was also a play for me that if I'm Aaron Glenn in that Lions defense, if I'm Dan Campbell looking at Aaron Glenn in my defense, and I see them throw that smoke screen out to Scary Terry, he splits 2 defenders, breaks the tackle on one, and then 60 yards later, 58 yards later, outruns Brian Branch as well. I think Brian Branch tried to clip his heels at the 5. Outruns Brian Branch, gets in the end zone for that 60-yard touchdown. That one right there makes me sick because that's a play the defense has to make. The corner on that side, I want to say that was Terry and Arnold. He played it right. He's getting blocked by the outside receiver, and he maintains leverage. He maintains outside leverage. He squeezes it, and he pincers. The guy coming from the inside, I can't remember who that was. The guy coming from the inside, I want to say it's number 6. Was that Kirby Joseph? I can't remember. But the guy coming from the inside, you've got to make that play. That play right there could have been a 3-yard gain. If the guy on the inside makes that play with it being pinched from the outside. That missed tackle right there gained them an extra 50 yards. And then Brian Branch trying to chase him down. Now, Brian Branch doesn't have tremendous great long speed at all, but gives effort, tries to maybe almost trips him up right there at the 5, but is unable to do so. And Scary Terry punches that in for a touchdown, man. So huge play there by Washington for sure. Um, Brian Robinson Jr. had a big day on the ground, 15 for 77, 2 touchdowns on the ground. And then, yeah, but the story of this game for sure, Washington in that defense, 2 sacks, 4 interceptions, pick six, and a forced fumble in which they recovered as well. So forced 5 total turnovers in that game. So kudos and congratulations to Jaden Brown, or excuse me, to Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn, and that Washington Commanders ball game, our ball team. On the other side as well, man, let me shout out Jahmyr Gibbs, man. I love me some Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Every time I watch Jahmyr Gibbs, I love his game more and more. I really love watching him play, man. I've been saying this for a while now. Y'all already know, but that's my favorite back in the league right now, man. 14 for 105, 2 touchdowns, another 70 receiving yards in the area as well on the day. Amon-Ra St. Brown had himself a big day, 8 for 137. And this is the other point that stuck out to me for sure. J-Mo had one catch. Jameson Williams, J-Mo had one catch in this game for 19 yards. That catch came in the first quarter. I think it was in the first quarter on that opening drive. J-Mo kind of like a 19-yard out. He didn't have another catch for the rest of that game. In fact, he only had 2 more touches in the rest of this game. He had a 61-yard touchdown. He ran on a reverse, which is a fantastic play. He's got tremendous long speed. So he takes a reverse 60 yards to the crib. That was his second touch of the day. And then he doesn't, his only other touch after that is an interception that he throws. That's what I don't like in this game. I don't like that. I don't like that we have such an explosive weapon and how, and you know, maybe it's a credit to Washington. You know what I mean? I haven't got to really rewatch it and dive into like what exactly they were doing, but really taking J-Mo out of this game and taking that explosive element out, man. And especially in a game like this where a quick strike touchdown, well, they got one from the reverse, but man, you need that weapon. We needed. They needed J-Mo to be a bigger part of this game. 2 touches. He had 2 touches for 80 yards and a touchdown. 2 touches, 80 total yards, and one of those 2 touches was a touchdown. He needs to be more involved in the game plan. There's got to be something we can do in the course of that game, Ben Johnson, to try to help and get the ball into our playmakers' hands for sure. So I don't like that. But at the same time, when Jared Goff is throwing interceptions every other pass as well, it probably does blow up the game plan a little bit as well. So maybe I got to give you that. But no, man, that was a fantastic game. And another thing as well, and shout out to my dog Chop. Shout out to my dog Chop as well, because he was talking about this game as well. He's like, man, this game really, we've known this all along, but in this game particular, man, they were desperate for Aiden Hutchinson. They needed Aiden Hutchinson in this game, and it was very evident. They didn't have any pressure on Jaden Daniels in this game. No sacks. They only had 2 quarterback hits in this entire game. And Jaden Daniels had, between dropbacks and rushing attempts, 50 touches. He had 31 pass attempts. He had 16 carries. So Jaden Daniels had the ball in his hand during there 50 times. The Detroit Lions defense only touched him twice. Twice out of 50. Twice out of 50. That's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. And it's going to be hard to do anything if the quarterback is sitting back there having 707. It was 707 for Jaden Daniels. 707. You know what I mean? And so that's that definitely shows, I guess, the value and the worth and just how detrimental it was to that defense not having Aiden Hutchinson on the field. And they've been having to deal with that all year. But shout out to my dog Chop, man, because he definitely pointed that out while we was watching that game last night at dinner. But man, now that was like I said, it was still, even during the course of that game, there was still a part of me that was like, man, is Washington going to hold on to it? Are they going to let Detroit back in this game? Because one thing we know about Dan Quinn and those Detroit Lions, the game's not over till it's over. Dan Quinn told y'all when he got there, we get knocked down, we biting kneecaps on the way up. All right, Dan Quinn had already told us that, so we know that about this Lions team. They were going to keep fighting. And kudos to them, they did. But that's why, there and again, shout out to Dan Quinn, shout out to the Washington Commanders, and shout out to Jaden Daniels, man, because they had an answer for every Detroit answer. They answered every Detroit response with a touchdown. And then with every takeaway, they responded with a touchdown as well. So all 7s and no 3s. They finished with 45 points, but essentially all 7s and no 3s in those critical moments. Because 3s instead of 7s, if everything plays out the same, and we can do the quick math, but if they turn in 3s instead of 7s, Detroit might still find a way to win this game. I want to say, I think Detroit still may have been possible for Detroit to win this game. But no. So kudos to Washington, man. That's big. Being a rookie, going on the road Rookie Jaden Daniels has 2 playoff victories in his rookie year. Both of them have been on the road, and one of them against the number 1 seed in his conference. We've got to give credit and consideration to just how tremendous an accomplishment that is. And matter of fact, shout out to my dog Chop one more time, because Chop pointed out last night, it took Lamar Jackson 5 years to get 2 playoff wins. Jaden Daniels has 2 in his first offseason, in his first postseason. Justin Herbert's still looking for 2. You know what I mean? Justin Herbert's still looking for his first playoff win. You know what I mean? Lamar Jackson's got 2. He just got his 3rd this year. You know what I mean? No, he's more than 5 years in. 7 years into his career now. Jaden Daniels has opened his rookie campaign with 2, and 2 of them on the road, and one of those against the number 1 team, the number 1 seed in the conference. So tremendous ball player, man. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. My dog Keandre say you watch Washington like, oh, they don't know they hey, exactly, bruh. He's like, oh, y'all don't know y'all ain't supposed to be here. Y'all don't know y'all supposed to lose this game. Detroit is the team of destiny. Didn't nobody tell y'all Detroit was the team of destiny this year? Didn't nobody tell y'all we were supposed to see Detroit in their first Super Bowl? Who didn't get that memo to Washington? Exactly, bro. Exactly. Yeah, I feel that. Unc said he got KC and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised. And this thing about it, whether it's the Bills or the Ravens, I still like either of them going into that game against Kansas City. But I guess on paper I like those other 2 teams better. But that's the thing, man. Going into Kansas City in the playoffs, in that atmosphere, in the AFC Championship, that is a tall order, man. So it is a tall order. So it's gonna be hard. It's hard to argue against that. And then you're taking the Eagles in the NFC. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. With the Lions gone, Big Baker Mayfield didn't make it. I'm cheering for that Washington team in the NFC. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Washington make it to the big game, man. I want to see rookie Jaden Daniels make it to the big game in his rookie season. That's what I want to see. So I'm pulling for Washington to finish this thing on out. And then I don't know. Oh man, imagine rookie Jaden Daniels against Patty Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Hey man, hey, I can get on board with that now. Hey now, it might be a Washington Kansas City Super Bowl now. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. Got blown up. No, yeah, he got his bell run for sure. Yeah, he got his bell run for sure. My dog Keandre said Gibbs might be his second favorite runner behind King Henry. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I love Mr. Gibbs, man. He's the most explosive back in football. I don't care what none of y'all say. He's the most explosive back in football. His skill set he's got a similar skill set to Christian McCaffrey, except he's faster. Man, yeah, I love Jahmyr Gibbs, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Our sis said, "What's up? Hey, yeah, go ahead and tap in with the YouTube for me, Yeah, go ahead, give me a like and a subscribe over on the YouTube as well." My dog said, "Hey, my dog Terrible Time and woke up this morning, man. He said, hey, the Texans is still going to the Super Bowl, but it is in 2026. That's all it is." Shout out to my dog Terrible Time, bro. Terrible Time still holding it down for them Houston Texans. For those Waymaker Texans. Oh, man, don't do all that. Don't do all that. Hey, look, we appreciate your sacrifice. Boy, these Chiefs fans, y'all Chiefs fans is overdue for a big slice of humble pie. I tell you that. These Chiefs fans is definitely overdue for a big slice of humble pie. I tell you what. But now let's go ahead and get into today's games, man. So first game slated for today is going to be the NFC Divisional. We've got the Los Angeles Rams going on the road to Philadelphia in a 2-4 matchup. I'm taking Philadelphia in this one, 24-19. I really was trying to see a way. I'm not going to lie, man. I kind of wanted to pull for the Rams in this one. Just the way that Rams defense looked last week against the Vikings. I love me some good defensive football. And the way that young Rams defense played last week had me very excited. And even going into this one, I'm like, man, if that Rams defense is able to mimic the way they played and the production they got last week, especially in that pass rush, I think they sacked Sam Darnold like 9 or 10 times. They had like 9 or 10 sacks in that game, literally. You know what I mean? So if they can get that type of pressure in this game, then they've got a chance to make it back to the NFC Championship game. But the only thing about that is probably the strongest part of this Eagles team, the strongest unit on this Eagles team, and it's been like this, it feels, for the last 5, 6, 7 years, it is the offensive line. So everything for the Eagles starts right there up front. And so if we're going strength on strength, the Eagles win that matchup, man. We've got all-pro Lane Johnson. We've got all-pro caliber Jordan Mailata. We've got all-pro caliber Landon Johnson. Shit, we've got Mekhi Becton moving to right guard. Phenomenal. And then Cam Jurgensen, he's not Jason Kelsey, but he's very solid as well. So I mean, they've got 5 damn good guys all across the front, and these are hog mollies, boy. Hey, these is furniture movers, boy. I think the smallest guy on that line is Cam Jurgensen, they center, because he's like, if I remember right when he's coming in, he's like 6'2", 305. He's a smaller center, like Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey wasn't a big center. Jason Kelsey plays center at like 285 pounds, 290 pounds. So Cam Jurgens is like right there, right around 300. But everybody to the left and right of him, his guards are each 6'5". I think Mekhi Becton's 6'6". Landon Dickerson is like 6'5", 330. Mekhi Becton is like 6'6", 340, and he was an athlete. When he came in from Louisville, he ran a sub 540, I believe, at like 6'6", 340 something pounds. So monster. Lane Johnson, 6'5", 315, dancing bear. Jordan Mailata, ex-professional rugby player, 6'5", 330. These boys is big. These boys can move. And I think that might be too much, man, for this young Rams front seven. But I really like what the Rams got going on, man. They've dominated the draft. Shout out to Les Snead and Sean McVay. Jared Verse is an absolute monster. Loved him coming in. Kobe Turner is having a fantastic second season, building off what he did as a rookie. Braden Fisk, I wasn't as big on him coming in from Florida State, but he's had a fantastic year, especially in the passing game, rushing the passer. Fantastic year there. I love Cam Kitchens at the safety position. Shout out to my dog Chop, man. He was shouting out Kello Witherspoon, who had a very solid year for the Rams this year. He's got a little banged up, but when I look at it, man, I can't take that young, still kind of young and inexperienced defensive front. I can't take them against the experienced hog mollies that the Eagles got up front, man. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. And so I am going with the Eagles. 24-19 is how I see this one playing out. And then also when I look at it, man, the Rams offense, they're a little spotty to me. Like they generally find a way to get, like let's say 1 or 2 explosive plays a game. Like they find Puka deep over the middle. He's a damn tough runner when he has the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? So he's able to break that first tackle and maybe pick up an extra 15 or so yards a lot of the time. So they find a way to get an explosive or 2 throughout the course of most of these games. But I'm not gonna lie, that Eagles secondary is balling too. And there's some young guys in that secondary. Quinyon Mitchell is a stud. Quinyon Mitchell is a stud. Cooper Kupp ain't gonna do nothing with Quinyon Mitchell today. I don't think so. I don't think he is. And Cooper DeJean in the slot, stud. I want to see Cooper DeJean, how he holds his own against Puka. How Cooper DeJean holds his own against Puka. Well, or Puka, Cooper DeJean and Cooper Kupp. Man, Puka and Cooper, this is tripping me up. Puka and Cooper and Quinyon and Cooper, man, all right, y'all know what I'm saying. Whatever. Darius Slay had an interception last week as well. There we go. That's an easy name. That's an easy name for me. I ain't going to stumble over that. Darius Slay got his hands on the pigskin last week as well, so he's still out there balling. He's still out there doing what he got to do, the elder statesman. Darius Slay been playing a long time. It feels like Darius Slay been with the Eagles for like 10 years, and it almost makes me forget. I mean, it hasn't been 10, but it feels like he's been there for forever, and it makes me forget, like, wait, Darius Slay had like 7 Pro Bowl years in Detroit before he got to Philly. Like, how old is Darius Slay? Darius Slay got to be as old as me, man. Darius Slay got to be about my age. He been playing for a long ass time and at corner. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. So I can't wait to see some of these matchups for sure. Saquon, of course, look for him to be a spark plug in this one as well. And then also the biggest thing too, like, do we see Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown get back on the same page? Because last time AJ Brown was crying in the media and pouting on the sidelines, the next game they played my Steelers and Jalen Hurts had his best game of the season, and AJ Brown had like 8 catches for like 140 yards and a touchdown. So maybe AJ Brown knows what buttons to push to get Jalen Hurts fired up and to get Jalen Hurts to throw on the ball. Maybe that's what's going on. Because last week, of course, in the wild card, AJ Brown has 1 target, 1 catch, 1 target in that game. Did he even catch it? He had 1 target. No, he had 1 catch. Let's say 1 catch. 1 catch for 0 yards, I believe, something crazy like that. He's on the sideline reading books. And so let's see if they find a way to mend that fence again, if they get back on the same page and see if they can be productive today. And if that Rams defensive front is able to show up a whole day on against this Eagles offensive line, then we'll definitely need Jalen to find AJ and Devontae as well, but specifically AJ Brown, man, to really be the difference in this game potentially if that young Rams defensive front is able to hold their own. So can't wait to see that one as well. And then, of course, the game of the weekend, the game of the day, the game of the hour, the AFC divisional matchup between Baltimore and Buffalo. Baltimore on the road in this one. I think Buffalo, the high, it's going to be like 30 degrees. And I know they had a lot of snow this week, but I imagine they'll get that field cleaned off. They generally do a good job of doing that. But this game right here, I can't wait to see. I really went back and forth on this game, man. My head, and I'll be honest with y'all, it's hard for me to cheer for them Ratbirds, man. Or them excuse me. It's hard for me to cheer for them Ravens. But I almost feel like, man, my head wants to say Ravens, but my heart won't let me not say Bills. They won't. I can't do it. Big Josh in the playoffs at home. It's a different ball game, man. Now the Ravens did put it on. They put it on the Bills earlier this year. Now Buffalo went to Baltimore. Well, this time we had Big Josh house this time. So that first matchup, and it was earlier in the year as well, and it was in Baltimore. And so these teams, for better or worse, it's different teams now, it's different circumstances, and this game being in Buffalo instead of in Baltimore this time also is a huge difference in this game. And so I'm taking Big Josh, man. I'm taking Big Josh. The Ravens are looking dangerous. The Ravens did anything they want to do against my Steelers last week. It is what it is, man. Like I said, it is what it is. They got that off. Congratulations to you. But, man, I don't know. You're going to tell me now y'all going to go on the road in Buffalo, in the cold, in all that damn snow. And Baltimore's they're not unfamiliar with outdoor elements of cold weather and snow. So I'm not saying it like that. But yet and still, when it's not your house, it's still different. Now you're in Big Josh house. All right? Now you're in Big Josh house, man. And so the battle of the MVPs, I think the MVP voting, all that stuff is already taking place. And so they're just waiting to announce it before they release who win. But this is the battle of the league's MVPs, man. Whether you believe the MVP is Josh Allen or if you believe the MVP is Lamar Jackson, both these guys are going to face off head to head. Both these teams are going to win or lose based on what their MVP candidate does in this game, man. So I cannot wait to see it. I am taking Buffalo with the slight edge in this game, 26-24. Buffalo at home, getting it done. Now you might say, well, Will, man, why 26? A lot of field goals in this game. And I won't lie, the reason I think so is because Buffalo offensively, with neither of these teams offensively are overly talented outside of the quarterback position and then a running back, right? So Lamar and Big Josh, those guys wash. You know what I mean? They're both guys at the very top of the position. So that's a wash for me. Running back, King Henry and James Cook. Now, James Cook had a very productive year. He's very solid back as well. He's not Derrick Henry, but he's definitely a capable and reliable back. So it's not necessarily an L. I give the edge to Derrick Henry, but Buffalo still has a very solid, viable option at the running back position as well. The receiver course for both these teams are lackluster. Zay Flowers is still out with his injury that he's been dealing with since the last game of the season. So he's not going to play in this one. So it'll be Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar and whoever else trots out there, in addition to Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. And then on the other side for Buffalo, still Khalil Shakur, rookie Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, Dawson Knox. And so neither of the weaponry that either Big Josh or Lamar has in this game is fantastic, but both these guys, the special talents that they are, they elevate everybody else that's on the field for sure. And they find ways to put these guys in position to look like stars at times. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to see this one, man. I can't wait to see this one. Also, these defenses, Kyle Hamilton, and shout out to Zach Orr, defensive coordinator for the Ravens, because they changed their lineup around midway through the season, and that defense probably went from bottom half of the league to top 10 unit just with making a couple changes to the personnel. Marlon Humphrey now moves into the slot. Kyle Hamilton moves back to free safety. Darius Washington comes in and plays more of the strong role. Nate Wiggins, the rookie, he's holding up, being pretty solid on the outside as well. Now on the outside with Marlon on the inside. And so, man, that change up itself was drastic for the Ravens defense as a whole. And they've been playing damn good ball since that happened. So definitely want to see how Big Josh handles that Ravens defense. And then on the other side, Buffalo's defense, man, they don't have anyone like spectacular player. They don't have a Kyle Hamilton. You know what I mean? They don't have a Marlon Humphrey. These are both of those guys all pros this year. Well, no, Kyle Hamilton didn't make the all pro team, and I don't know why. Kyle Hamilton made one of my all pro teams for sure. But then Marlon Humphrey made all pro, and I think it was deservedly so. He had a fantastic year. He had his best year in 5 years. So he's an all pro as well. Kyle Van Noy has had a fantastic season, double-digit sacks, I think, for the first time in his career. So fantastic production there. But on Buffalo's side, it really is defense by committee. They don't have like that one stud guy. You know what I mean? Von Miller is an elder statesman at this point. Every now and again, he'll get a good rush and maybe get close to, he might flash and get a good pressure or maybe even get his hands on the quarterback. But he's not the guy he was. It's a lot of rotational guys up there on that defensive front. Same in that secondary as well. They just play good, sound team defense. You know what I mean? And that's a credit to Sean McDermott. You know what I mean? Because they don't have a true stud on that defense. And we know who Matt Milano is, a guy who really exploded onto the scene, let's say 2-3 years ago, and he's been injured 2 out of the last 3 seasons since the world really got introduced to who he is as a player. And so, curious to see how both these defenses are able to do to slow down two guys that are really at the peak or the pinnacle of the position, or in my estimation, and especially for this season for sure. There's no quarterbacks that play better than these two guys in my estimation this year in the league. And so can't wait to see that one. Now, I tell you, man, hold on, man. Now I'm thinking about it. Did anybody give me a score? We ain't got no predictions. Nobody gave me a prediction on the Eagles and the Rams game or this Ravens and Baltimore game. Hey, somebody better talk to me, man. What we thinking? Who you going with? Give me a score. Give me something now. Give me something. These games are too good today for nobody not to have an opinion. Y'all tripping. Somebody tripping, man. Because ain't no way you're going to tell me that y'all don't have an opinion on either of these two games. Somebody better let me know something, man. Y'all tripping. Can't believe y'all. But like I said, I am taking Buffalo to get this done. But see, that's the thing about it. Whether it's Buffalo or Baltimore, it's still just it's I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tall order next week for either of those teams for sure, going to Kansas City. Especially what we've seen what happens when you go to Kansas City in these games is no secret. But man, I can't wait to see it. But man, hey, look, I tell y'all what, man. If y'all ain't got nothing for me now, we ain't got no more games, man. That might be that's it, that's all. That might be that's it, that's all. Let me see. Oh, we got one. Let me see. Mine's in the better game. Oh, Ravens with the win, 24-16. Okay. Taking Baltimore to go on the road to Buffalo and get that win, 24-16. I like it. And that's the thing about it as well. I can see that. I definitely do think it's probably going to be, I don't think the scoring is going to be crazy in this game at all, especially just with it being outside in those conditions. The Buffalo has some of the worst wind of any stadium. I mean, Buffalo, Chicago, like the wind is crazy. These might be Arctic style winds they feel like out there today. You know what I mean? And the wind may be 20 miles an hour or so. So, I mean, the elements in this game are going to be huge for sure. Neither of these teams, both these teams have competent passers. Both these teams also have average or even average receiving cores. But so both these games, I think, will definitely need to establish some style of run game to really kind of keep pace and kind of tempo this game, to try to keep the ball out of the other quarterback's hands for sure. It's going to be vital in this one. So run games are going to be big. And both these quarterbacks, like I said, man, they're such a big part of both the running games as well. And so, man, like I said, this game is a very evenly matched game for me on a lot of levels, man. So I really cannot wait to see this one. Kiara just said she agreed with Big Josh winning, but he got his issue off already been going. Y'all sat on Christmas in Texas yesterday. But hey, you better stop looking in the rear view, Keandre. You better stop. You can't live in the rear view, man. That's how you crash. You keep looking backwards. That's how you crash, bro. You better worry about what you got. You got worry about what you got going on in the front window, man. The front windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror. You can't keep living in the past, man. That's how you crash now. You better be careful. You better be careful. He said you want that lick back from Josh. I see, yeah. Hey, the only loss of the season, only loss that matters of the season to Big Josh and those Bills for sure. And then, week 17 against Denver when y'all sat down just to make sure y'all didn't have a chance to run into the Joe Burrow and them. It's all right. I don't blame y'all. I don't blame y'all at all. But yeah, now okay. So you pulling for Big Josh so you can get that lick back. I like it. I like it. But hey, I gave y'all a chance. Going once, going twice, man. We might be sold now. Going once, going twice. Y'all better speak up, man. Hey, you better speak now or hold y'all peace. Speak now or hold your peace. But now, be that as it may, man. If that's all we got, that's all we got, man. Appreciate everybody getting up this morning, tapping in with your dog. Shout out to the members. All right, shout out to the members. My dog Keandre for sure in the building. Hold me down, man. I appreciate you, big dog. Mondoose in the building as always. I appreciate you, lady. Sisters in the building as well. Shout out to the fam bam. Let me see my dog Time, man. I know it was a rough night for you, big dog. I know it was a rough weekend for you. But shout out to my dog Terrible Time holding it down for them Houston Texans. I appreciate you. He said they will be back. Now we're just gonna push it back to 2026. It's all good. It's all good. Shout out to PB&J. You got too many initials in your name, and they all lowercase. And I can't PTBF 14, right? PB&J. Shout out to PB&J 14. Shout out to PB&J 14. I appreciate you tapping in this morning. For sure. Big Uncle's in the building today, man. Hey, appreciate you coming through. Holler at me. Hey, don't forget now, go ahead and slide on that YouTube for me, man. Go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe on that YouTube as well. But I appreciate you coming through, hollering at your dog. And let me see who else is in this thing, man. I know I'm missing somebody. I'm looking for you. Damn. Couldn't find you. Say the same thing every week. Feel free to say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn, my bad. But charge it to my head. And don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you, big dog. Appreciate all that love and support as always. We got 2 fantastic games today, y'all. We really have 2 fantastic games today. I cannot wait to watch these games, particularly that AFC matchup, man. This AFC matchup, it feels like there is not a better matchup to see this weekend, man. This is its own Super Bowl. This is that caliber of game that we're going to get, that talented of players that we're going to get to see today in Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. And so, man, I definitely can't not wait to see this one. I know y'all excited as well. And y'all know what time it is, man. Look, y'all got plenty of time. Y'all got about 45 minutes to get yourselves together, man. That means you got 45 minutes. Tell the wife and kids to find something to do to get out your way, man. You find your favorite spot on your favorite couch. You turn your favorite team on your favorite TV. You get your favorite adult beverage into your favorite hand. And you sit down and you enjoy your football Sunday, big dog. All right, yeah, enjoy your football Sunday. Don't forget, Wednesday, tap back in with your dog so we can recap. We're sure to be a fun-filled day of football today. Let's talk about on Wednesday, man, which teams are going into the Final Four. It's getting about that time. Who's going to the Final Four? Who's going to the AFC and the NFC Championship game? And then we'll speculate on potential Super Bowl matchups, man. So football is winding down, but the excitement is still ramping up. I will see y'all on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Don't forget to tap in with your dog. Until then, y'all be easy. Peace.